Hello there, guys, and welcome to the weekend video. This is Enda here, and I think I'm just going to jump right in, um, start on the FX, and move out of that into the wider market. Okay, you can see here this is the 4-hour chart that I'm working with. Completed wave 1 down over here, and then along A, B, C pattern to complete wave 2. That's an expanded flat pattern. And we had a nice 5-wave rally in wave C, and now we've had a nice 5-wave rally again to take out that B wave low and to turn the trend back to the downside again, I think. I'm working with the idea that we have wave 2 complete, but there is always that chance that we extend out into a larger structure. So that's kind of at the back of my mind also. So we could get a larger 3-wave move here, and that would then clear the way for a decline in wave 3. But for the moment, we've had a reasonably impulsive decline off this initial wave 2 high. So have we got wave 3 of 3 underway? Yeah, that's a good question. Let's get into the hourly chart and see. So here is wave 1 down. I should stop saying so, but when I've cultivated a habit of doing it for so long. Okay, so there we go again. 3 waves up in wave 2. I'm looking at 3 waves up in A, a triangle wave B, and then a possible 5-wave move there in wave C. And off that high, then notably, that came in around the 62% retracement level. Not quite, but almost 111.64, and we reached a high of 111.47. So within a stone's throw. And then we turned lower again. So at the moment, we're looking at a developing 5-wave pattern to the downside. So we've got 1, 2, maybe an extending wave 3. I was looking for a further decline to kind of confirm that extending wave 3 today, and we seem to have got that. So wave 1, 2, 3, maybe a small triangle there, wave 4, and a drop into wave 5. I like the fact that we've broken that previous wave B low there, so we are now, just as I speak, trading below 107.84 again. This level should probably offer some support for this third wave down before we kind of correct sideways again in wave 4 here. But anyway, for next week, for Monday, what am I looking for? I'm looking for this whole wave 1 in green here to complete. So I want to see a completed 5-wave pattern to the downside, somewhere in around that lower support level there, 106.34. So maybe in around the 107 area. Split the difference there. Excuse me. Well, even if we break support, even better. That would pretty much confirm that wave 1 is done. And then we'd look for a 3-wave pattern higher in wave 2. And then wave 3 of 3 of 3 should begin, and that should be a pretty significant move lower in euro dollar. But for the moment, I have as with the 4-hour chart there, I have that alternate wave 2 still there at the back of my mind. So I have to keep an eye out for that next week as well. For the moment, I'm working on wave 3 down, and want to see some key levels breaking. Firstly, some price action that will indicate a beginning in wave 3, and then a break of some key support there at 106.34 as wave 3 of 3 probably begins. So next week I'm looking down with an interim correction in wave 2. Okay, so let's get into cable. I'm not such a fan of this wave count anymore, but at the moment it's kind of where my head is at. we seem to be kind of stuck in some sort of corrective pattern here within this fourth wave. The idea would be that we get a further decline in wave 5, but again, I would like to see a further acceleration, a larger acceleration in this third wave. So there could be something else going on here that I'm kind of missing at the moment. It could be a series of 1-2s, 1-2, 1-2. That would indicate kind of an acceleration into a third wave, a little bit further out than what I'm counting right now. But for the moment, I still want to see further downside. That would be in this wave 3 in red here. Like I said, this could be a series of 1-2, 1-2 patterns. And if that's the case, well then, yeah, it would still indicate more downside pressure to come. But I'm just going to have to work day to day on this one. If we go back to the 4-hour chart, I'm looking at a 1-2. That's a running flat wave 2. It was a nice acceleration lower in wave 3, but this could be a wave 1 and 2 of 3 also. So I'll keep an eye out for that. Here's the 3-wave pattern that I'm working with in wave 4. So this is wave A up, a running flat wave B, and then a 1, 2, 3, maybe a 4th wave correction underway now, and a pop higher in wave 5. There is a chance that we have a failed 5th wave. I was looking at this as a full triangle in wave 4 last night, but we broke out of that triangle today. So the next best thing would be for some sort of flat pattern or some sort of combination wave to be happening here. And then we'd still pop higher to complete wave C, but there is a chance that we have a failed 5th wave in wave C. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that early next week. If we get 5 waves down from here, especially if we start breaking these previous highs here, that 119, kind of 119.30 area, that will indicate that we're probably turning into wave 1 of 5, or we're looking at a further extension lower in a third wave. Okay, so next week I definitely want to see this top out in wave 4, or if this could be a wave 2 as well. But I want to see this correction top out and decline again impulsively. Okay, so dollar yen is chugging along as I thought it might in wave E. It's kind of up in the air really whether we've got wave A of E complete, or if this is just the first leg of wave A, as I'll show here in the hourly chart. Anyway, suffice to say that we have wave D completed, sorry, and we're moving lower into wave E. Okay. Here we have wave D high. There's also another interesting idea which I could expand on here. We could be this could be wave A of D also. Then we're looking at wave B of D and then wave C of D. I'll keep that in the back of my mind. No matter which way this kind of splits it looks like it's just going to be a ranging market for the next couple of months anyway. As this wave, at least as this wave E unfolds. I'm looking here in the short-term count as at a possible. I'm just going to put in this alternate count here for a second. Possible wave A of A, and then we're working on a flat correction wave B of A, and then we'll drop again in wave C of A. Now, depending on how far this wave C goes, I could change this up to a larger degree wave count, as I mentioned there earlier. So this could be wave A at 1 degree higher. This could be wave B at 1 degree higher, and then maybe we'll get a 5-wave decline of wave C at 1 degree higher. So, it's undecided. Let's put it that way. As with all corrections, you don't really know until you approach the end of it, where the preceding action will kind of clear up in your head. For the moment, I'm still looking for a further decline to complete 3 waves down. Whatever the degree of what's happening here, we should still get another drop to complete a C wave. So that's what I'll be looking for next week. It looks like we've got a reasonable, either running flat or expanded flat underway here in wave B. So wave C should come along next week, drop again, most likely down to that 105 handle. And then we'll kind of make a decision then on whether we are completed wave E or whether this is just some sort of variation on the same kind of theme there. Okay, let's get into stocks and go to the daily count. Yeah, we've got 5 waves down. I'm labeling this on the daily chart here as wave A, wave 1 or A, but I think this is most likely just wave A now at this point. So let me get rid of that. I hadn't updated that daily count. Okay, and actually I think I'm working with a 3-wave decline here now. So this is an older count. I will do that later. I shouldn't have done that right now. Okay, move on. Yeah, so 3 waves down, A, B, and C. Yeah, we had a 5-wave pattern within wave C with an ending diagonal wave 5 of C. So we were looking for a rally in wave A. We got that rally in wave A. It kind of depends where we're going from here. Have we wave B complete, or do we need another drop into to complete wave B? Looks like we've got a reasonable kind of 3-wave pattern there. So on the hourly chart, you'll see that I'm working with wave B already complete. One might have expected it to drop a bit more in wave B, but we got what we got, and that's that. So I think we have 3 waves down in wave A, 3 waves up in B, and then a reasonable 5-wave pattern down into wave C. The idea being that this is now a correction in wave B done, and we should see a rally again in wave C, and you'll see that wave C would probably push up towards 23,850, that kind of 50% retracement level. Ideally, there is a lurking bearish count in the background there, which would call wave B already complete at the recent high. I'm not a fan of that right now. Looks like we'll see a 5-wave rally next week, given the kind of extent of the, let's say, the extent of the bearish kind of sentiment that's in the market right now and in the general kind of marketplace and amongst the general public. The bearish has kind of like really grasped hold. So it would suggest that we have some sort of an interim bottom in place, and we should be expecting a kind of this how would you say a counter trend rally, or let's say an unexpected rally in wave C to complete a larger 3-wave pattern. If that's the case, well, then we should at least, in wave C, we should at least see a break of that wave A high. So we should at least see a push above 22,700, so a push above 23,000, with the possibility that we actually rally up towards 24 or even above 24,000 in wave C. Right now, that doesn't look likely given the surroundings, but this is a contrarian call. The extent of the bearishness would definitely allow for a rally to develop, and then once we have 3 waves up, we will have a larger degree wave B complete, and then we will have the way will be clear for a decline again in wave C, and wave C will be where major damage is done in terms of the economic damage, in terms of the outlook for business in general, because wave C, you'll see bankruptcies coming in thick and fast in that point. And my, how quickly we have turned in this from bubble to bust. But a bubble was going to find a pin to prick it. It didn't matter what it was going to be. I remember earlier in the year talking about um, what it could be, but nobody could ever foresee what would actually be the thing that turns a bubble from inflating consistently to deflating. We are well within the deflation phase now, or we've gotten the deflation phase well underway. Um, we need this bad count, dead bat. Excuse the pun. That was in the back of my mind, dead bat, given what's going on. But dead cat, that also fits the situation. But anyway, this dead cat bounce should create three waves up, a complete wave C, and then we'll head down into a larger degree wave C. So, sorry, complete wave C and wave B. So that's the larger B there. Somewhere up around that 24,000 level. And then we'll push back down into wave C. And I think wave C, if I go back out, I think wave C could bring us back down to below 15,000. And I think it could do that quite quickly. So it's where will be the tradable high? This market is very, very hard to trade right now. I've said that 1,000 times. But wave B is where the tradable high will be, most evident or most, let's say, approachable. How you trade that is, it's your own skin. So watch that skin; it's valuable skin. Yeah, wave B for expecting a decline into wave C. I mean, if we reach 24,000 in wave B, we could easily reach 14,000 in wave C. So that's 10,000 points. It's going to be wild, and it's going to be heartbreaking. I knew this was coming, but I didn't. Nobody ever wants to see economic destruction as it is being borne out. But you get what you ask for. And that's what we asked for. Okay, so let's look for next week. I want to see this wave B complete and decline again. Well, it looks like next week will be up. If this short-term count is correct, this next week will be an up week. Full of roses and bright lights. And then once wave B completes, we'll look for a decline down into wave C again. So short term, looking higher in a possible wave C. Longer term, it's going to be devastating in larger degree wave C. Okay, let's get into gold. Wave 5 seems to be underway. The alternate count here obviously is, I've gone over this before, but the alternate count, I don't know why this disappeared, but it did. The alternate count can be viewed as wave 1 high and wave 2 low. So let's get in there. Wave 1 and 2. And now if the alternate count is correct, now all we're doing right now is rallying in wave 1 of a very large degree, wave 3. You can see this alternate count here actually on the daily chart, wave 1 and 2. And this would be the initial move up into a wave 3 of 3. And if that's the case, well, then we have a long way to go to the upside. If the current wave count is correct, then we should probably keep pushing higher. Minimum target above 1700, 17 above the recent high of 1705 or whatever that was. And then an upper target somewhere around 1900 possibly. and that would complete wave 5 of 3. And then we'd correct again in wave 4, a larger degree wave 4, obviously. But for the 4-hour chart here, you can see we've possibly got 1, 2, 3, and 4 done, and now moving higher in wave 5. If we get here, we have a fourth wave low completed this week, and we've moved steadily higher off that low. We're kind of correcting right now at the moment. It could be within a wave 4 of 5. We'll have to see how the rest of the day plays out. They're expecting a jobs number later on today, or actually quite soon if it's not already out. So we'll see how that kind of plays on the market. I want to see 5 waves up complete anyway in wave 1, and then next week we'll probably look for some sort of correction again in wave 2. It seems that gold has always seemed stuck in some sort of correction. We get these fleeting rallies and then long and interminable corrections. But that's that's pretty much the way the markets work. You can see a short-term alternate here that we have maybe wave 1 and wave 2 already complete, and now we're beginning wave 1 of 3. But we should probably, that's hanging in the background. It's equally viable, but we'll have to see next week and see how the short-term action plays out. But for the moment, I do want to see a push back above that 1640 level in wave 5, preferably up towards the higher 1600s to complete wave 1. We'll look for that early next week, and we should know later on. We'll see how the day's action goes once the US market opens today. It's early enough. It's still pre-market over there, I think, at the moment. So we'll see how today's trade kind of pans out, and I'll be back to you later on tonight, and we'll know a little bit more. We'll see how it goes. Okay, let's move on to crude oil. Crude oil was a funny one this week. We seem to be working on, well, there's 2 ways you could kind of view this, as usual. There is a possibility that we have wave 3 complete, and now we're working on wave 4. And that's definitely a possibility. And once wave 4 completes, then we'll run lower again in wave 5. On the short-term count here, you can see that I'm actually still viewing wave 3 as incomplete. So this could be a 4th wave within wave 3. So I still think, in general, it's a 4th wave correction that we've got going on here. We punched to a new high today, this morning. It looks like we have 5 waves up in wave C now done, and we should turn lower again before the end of the session today in wave 5 of 3. Like I said, this could be also viewed as the wave 4 high, and that would be the wave 3 low there as an alternate count. So let's put that in there. And then wave 5 down will come. Sorry for the radio silence. Yeah, that's viable. It's very viable. Either way, I think this is some sort of counter trend high now coming into view, and we should probably turn lower again in wave 5. Some sort of wave 5th wave, either to complete wave 3 or to complete wave 5 of 3. That would be a larger 5 of 3. Okay, so next week I do want to see that turn down come. For today, we might push a little bit higher, but where would the main resistance would be back up there about that 3660 level. And that's where the previous gap or previous correction pushed back up into that gap lower. That might, if the price does extend that high, well, then I think we'll change the alternate account, because I think that would be too large of a correction to view it as just a lower degree wave 4. We'll probably move up a degree and then expect wave 5 to come in blue. But for the moment, it looks like we've got 3 waves up in some sort of correction. And now we should expect a 4th wave to complete and a 5th wave to come in. Maybe before the end of the trade today, who knows, but most likely by next week sometime. Early next week. Okay, let's move on to the S&P. The S&P is pretty much the same. The only major difference would be the internal. Let's see, the hourly chart. Yeah, the internal labeling of the initial move down in wave A is viewed as 5 waves rather than 3 waves. So this could be a zigzag that's unfolding here in the S&P rather than a flat in the Dow. That doesn't mean anything really. It's more or less just kind of a technical differentiation rather than anything else. The correction in wave B seems to be following the exact same lines as the Dow. So let's get into the hourly chart there. We have a possible alternate here that this internal high this week could be wave B complete, but I'm very skeptical on that one. It's there, but I'm skeptical. We seem to have more evidence to suggest that this is 3 waves down in A, 3 waves up in B, and then 5 waves down in wave C. So that would make this an expanded flat correction in wave B, and then we had a spike higher off the lows yesterday. So again, that would suggest that we have wave C underway. I don't like the idea. I don't like the fact that this wave 1 is quite short. That doesn't mean it's not viable as wave 1, but I would have expected a little bit more upside. 25.50 or something like that in wave 1. But you get what you get. So we could be working with wave 1 and some sort of second wave correction now underway, and then that would suggest either later today, on Friday now, or on Monday, that would suggest that we get a rally in wave 3 of C, and that would do wave B. We are speculating, but it looks like we have a larger ABC pattern unfolding. It looks like that we've got 3 waves done in wave B, and however unlikely it might seem right now, that would suggest that we get a 5-wave rally in wave C of B. I mean, if the price breaks down from here impulsively and we start pushing, back into that 2180 support level there, then we'll have to do an about face and switch that alternate account. But for the moment, I am favorable towards this 3-wave correction higher in wave B. Let's see where that would kind of suggest a completion somewhere in around 2780 or the higher level there. The 62% retracement is up at 2930. So between 2780 and 2930, we have a previous 4th wave there at 2708 or 2710, whichever you want to look at it. 2700. It's a wide range. I kind of split the difference and pick the 50% retracement of 2780 or 2790 for wave C and wave B to complete, and then we'd start looking lower again next week. Well, no, this wave C, well, it depends. I mean, wave C could take a couple of days to trace out, and we may even begin heading lower again by the end of next week. So this will be interesting to watch to see how that develops. I mean, this rally could come thick and fast. Complete wave C by Tuesday or Wednesday, and then by this time next week we could be have a lot of this sold off again to begin wave large degree wave C. Okay, so for today, Friday, and Monday, at least, probably looking favorably towards the idea of a C wave rally, and we'll see how that kind of pans out later on tonight. Okay, so here we have silver, and it looks like silver is coming to an end. The fourth wave correction in silver is coming to an end. There is one caveat on this. Where is he? Can I get rid of that? Okay, there's one caveat on this wave count here. So it views wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and then one final decline in wave 5. If we push above that wave 1 low there, so that's about 1640 or something in that area. If we push above that 1640 level, that will suggest that this correction is over, and that we're, especially if we see 5 waves up to break that wave 1 level, that will suggest a wave that will suggest that this large wave B is over, and we can look higher again in wave C, and that wave C would take a significant period of time to unfold. Okay, on the hourly chart, you can see here's the 3-wave pattern I'm working with, and as you can see, also it's pretty extended at this point. So we haven't broken up above that wave 3 there, wave 3 of C. I do want to see one last push in wave 5 of C to complete wave 4, and then turn down again in wave 5. But like I said, here's that wave 1 low, so that it comes in at 1638 here on the hourly chart. If we get a break at that level, I'd be quite happy to change tack and view wave 1 here in red as already underway. Okay, so for next week, or for today anyway, Friday, I want to see a pop to complete wave 4. If this is correct, wave 5 of C should complete, and that will do wave 4. And then we'll head lower again in wave 5. Like I said, it's kind of spinning plates at the moment. It could fall a different way, and we could see a break of that wave 1 low, and we may have to turn bullish earlier. So that does that. Completes the week. Thanks to all you beautiful subscribers. Thanks for coming on board. God bless your efforts, and have a great weekend. Be good, everybody, and I'll see you on the far side of this weekend. Hopefully there'll be some good news on this plague as well. And I don't comment much on that because I'm not an epidemiologist, so I'll stick to what I purport to know. Okay, that does it for the weekend video. Be good, stay safe, God bless, and we'll see you Monday evening for the nightly updates. Bye bye.